For the longest time, I never figured out how my mom always knew the exact moment I was coming home. Whether I was walking back from school or later from college, the front door would open before I could even knock. The second I stepped onto the porch, there she was, Mom, her face lighting up with the brightest, most loving smile. She'd pull me into a warm hug, whisper a little prayer of thanks, and then I'd sit at the kitchen table while she cooked fresh bread right there on the stove. If it was my favorite meal, she'd grin and say, "Ready for our little contest?" That contest was the best part of my day. She'd put the warm slices in the bread basket and challenge me. "Let's see if I can bake the next one before you finish this one." She worked so fast, flipping the dough, watching the pan, and just as I took the last bite, a fresh, steaming hot slice would land perfectly on my plate. I'd easily eat 3 or 4 pieces, but I could never tell who actually won. Our house had its rules. No one was allowed out after dark. But after graduation, I landed a job in the city that often kept me out very late. Mom's routine never changed. Even if I came home at 2 or 3 in the morning, I never had to unlock the door myself. I'd try to be quiet so I wouldn't wake her, but the moment my key touched the lock, the door would already be swinging open. I'd ask her every time, "Mom, how do you always know I'm here?" She'd just laugh softly and say, "I can smell you coming, sweetheart." Then one day, Mom was gone. The first night I came home late after her funeral, I stood outside the door for what felt like forever. I knocked gently. No answer. I waited, then knocked again. Still nothing. Finally, I sat down on the front steps, leaning against the door, lost in thought. I don't know how long I stayed there. The next thing I remember is hearing the distant church bells ringing for early morning service. A little while later, our neighbor, Mom's best friend, Mrs. Harper, stepped out of her house across the street. She hurried over, placed a gentle hand on my head, and said softly, "Oh, my boy, your mom used to stand at the upstairs window for hours watching the street. The second she saw you turn the corner, she'd run downstairs to open the door for you." Her eyes filled with tears as she continued, "And when you came home really late, your sister-in-law would complain about the noise in the kitchen because it woke her up." Then Mrs. Harper looked up at the dark window with wet eyes and whispered, "Son, that window will never open again." A mother's love is the quietest, most powerful thing in the world. Always watching, always waiting, even when we don't realize it. Cherish her while you still can.